Oh, we're back up. All right. So let's see. What were we talking about before we were rudely disconnected? Um, what were we talking about? We were talking about ivermectin. So I talked about dosages. I didn't like to give dosages out.
Right. Because you're
Um,
not dead.
Okay. So loud and clear. Okay. Puppy back deals. Okay, let's talk about puppy back deals. Well, we did talk about puppy back deals. Let's talk about co-owns. So co-owning would where you've got a, maybe you're in a situation you've got a female dog that could be even a stud dog, could be a male. You think it's a great dog. You're not wanting to sell it. You're thinking that you'd like to keep that dog and get some puppies out of it, but you don't want to house the dog, and you're going to have somebody else do that for you. And for that, they're going to co-own the dog, where you both participate in what you're producing. Stud service. My advice to you is this: it will never be as good as you think it's going to be. Be prepared for that. And I would not do a deal like this unless I was physically very close to that person. I mean, in terms of location, I'm within 50 miles or less of them. I wouldn't do it because I promise you that the photographs and the videos and the marketing that they do will not be anything. You'll have to step into it. What you can rely on that person to do is to feed and look after the dog. So, it is problematic, and so it's not like it can't work. And we've done this quite a few times.
Well, and probably out of that quite a few times, let's say 10 times, that we might have had 2 people that can do pictures.
Yes. So,
videos.
Yeah, I mean, so if Jody's listened to this, Jody's one of those people that does a good job.
Yeah.
Right. So they're relatively far and few between. And it's not because they're not good people, but it's because they don't know what they've got to do. So,
Or they don't have the time
or they don't have the time to
to
do it, or they don't have the commitment, or they don't have the same want that you do. So it's not like it can't work, but you better put a contract together. Well, another one, by the way, would be, um, oh, God, really dead, Keith and...
Oh.
Yeah, I don't want people hearing things that we don't think they're good.
Oh, yeah.
Keith and
Shelley.
Shelley, thank you.
Yeah.
Shelley, they do a good job too. But those are the 2 that we were talking about. So I don't want them listening in on this and saying, "Oh, James and Tami don't like them," because we do like. And this is not a like don't like thing. This is all about.
There's just some people can do pictures and some people can't. So
Yeah,
I think work at it. Practice makes perfect.
Yeah, exactly. I can tell you this: some of you who are watching this probably don't take the best of videos. And by the way, there's a solution to that, and that's to go get our course. We've got one course that's specifically about, and one course about how to market puppies and sell puppies, and there's another one about how to take pictures of puppies. And that's a very short course and an inexpensive one. And by the way, I think Sally extended the 30% off deal that's going on. And I know, and the reason we did that is because, number one, quite a few of you took advantage of that last week, and one person got all of our courses. He got all of them 30% off, so that was a pretty good deal. But there are some courses there. Specifically, there's some about marketing, how to take. It's one of them specifically about photographs and pictures, which seems like such a simple thing, but it's so important. I mean, it makes a huge difference. I mean, we do a good job marketing our dogs, and we show you what we do and how we do it and why we do it, so that you can learn, and it will make a hell of a lot more than the cost of that course on the very first puppy that you sell, I promise you. And there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. If it's not true, get your money back. All right, so enough of that. Let's see, Charlie Silver, I've been putting her on Pure Balance, bison flavor, high protein, thinking about implementing puppy food into her diet. She's also been getting 2 pills a day of folic with vitamins. Good. Well, that's fine. I mean, all of that's good. I mean, again, high protein diet's what you want because
2 pills.
You need 5 milligrams. If it's like an 800 mic tablet, you would need like 12 of those. So you wouldn't want to give that. That's a lot. You want to give a 5 milligram once a day. Levy says, my dog just had 12 puppies. I want to say thank you so much because your advice has really helped me. Good. Coming through the whole process. After the first 2 weeks, 2 puppies started declining so quickly, I started syringe feeding them, giving them anti-diarrhea medication, retain the hydration. Today is their 1-month birthday, and everybody's doing great. Good. Thank you guys again. You're welcome. So I would say this: if you've got a puppy that is declining, I would not be syringe feeding. Well, if you mean tube feeding, that's exactly what I do. If you mean syringe with a sponge on the end of it, I would not. This magic nipple, magic puppy nipple. I know a lot of you use that like it. I personally would stick a tube down the puppy's throat, excuse me, and get that puppy's milk right in its tummy where you know where it is. Good. I'm glad your puppies are doing well. Momo Fix says hit that like button. We need to because we've done this whole thing again, so we don't have very many likes. And for those of you who stuck with us while we get these drops, I appreciate that because I think a lot of you have decided that we've got into a fatal car crash and that we're now at the side of the road in pieces. But we're not. We're still alive. It's good. Okay. Insaratha is with us. We see her a lot. She's with us. That's good. So let's see. I wonder if we were going to. So the merceration, I could go back over that if people wanted me to. I did talk about it, the merceration, maceration, and mummification at the very beginning. So if people would like to hear about that, I will start it back up again. Levi says, for the life of me, I could not find where to get a tube. Yes. So the problem is that it's crazy. A tube doesn't cost diddly squat, but most vets don't carry them. And you cannot go back to the big box stores like PetSmart and find them. They don't have them. So we do have them on My Ready Supply. And you should have a few syringes and feed tubes. You can reuse a feed tube over and over again. I mean, typically I don't reuse them from one litter to another because they kind of get a bit beat up. But I absolutely use the same one to tube feed all the puppies. I don't. It doesn't have to be sterilized between uses. I do wash it. Rhonda Lee says I can go back and watch it. Good. Okay. And Rhonda, I'm going to do a specific video on that that I actually did the other day, and I will release that video here in the next few days, talking specifically about merceration, maceration, mummification of puppies, how you know it's going on, what the symptoms are, what the treatments are, and what the outcome's like to be. So go look at this one, and that video will be released soon. Okay. All right, let's see if we've got any. So we've lost a lot of you, which means we don't have too many questions. So at some point, I'm just going to start talking about stuff. Tami, you want to talk about your breeding deal coming up?
Yeah, but I'd also like to mention what I started up earlier when we first started and got done with it.
Yes.
It's about tick and flea season is here.
Yes.
Already starting to see ticks.
Yes.
So if you have any neat ideas on solutions for dogs, especially ones that are not pregnant, we use the Adam's flea and tick spray for some of our dogs. But if you got some other kind of suggestion, let us know.
So I would say, the thing you got to watch out for here is that ticks can really cause problems. They can cause problems to you. People can get very, very mysteriously sick. Yes, you think of things like deer ticks that are very, very small and hard to see.
Another tick. I wish I knew what the name of that one tick was that woman was talking about.
But I would say this. If your dog goes outside to pee and poop, I would have a good look at that dog when it comes back in. And it should be
You
really...
can spray your yard, definitely.
Yeah.
Checking your dogs. You need to spray your yard.
It's relatively...
Spray their beddings.
Probably fairly easy to see it on the puppies. So I'd be looking at puppies on a daily basis. You do not want ticks. Because ticks can cause problems, big problems. Big problems for your dogs, big problems for you. And you don't know what problems are going to occur or how you even diagnose it, other than the fact that you finally got a tick on you. Or you had been bitten by a tick and don't even know it. So watch out. Watch out.
But about my dogs that are pregnant, we're expecting a litter in about 2.5 weeks. There will be full fluffies and fluffy carriers. They will be coys. There will be carrying pink. Some will be girls. And
Yep.
so
Be an interesting litter, won't it? Yep.
New Shade Isabellas, Rojo and Tans. It'll be all different.
Whole smorgasbord.
Colors. Yeah.
Steve44 asked, what would be the last day to take puppies out? Day 65. No, there is no last day. The problem with this is if you bred your dog way early, by maybe 6 or 7 days, you may still have a small litter. and then those puppies are going to come out 6 or 7 days or more later. So, I can tell you this: we've been in a situation where we did have a litter that was day 65, 66, and we got so nervous that we ended up deciding to take the puppies. They were born too early. A litter of 3, 2 died and 1 made it. So that was a long time ago. We've learned our lesson on that. So, you'll have vets tell you otherwise. I mean, there's things you can do with heart monitors and see what their heart rates are and see if they're stressed or not. But I think that the danger here is taking puppies too early, especially on very small litters. Somebody's asking. So look here. Sorry. Hillside Kennels, puppies with mum in the heated whelping system, 21 days. What should the temp be? Do you set it down from 104? No, we don't. Remember this. This is like a puppy, you being in front of a fireplace. If you're too hot, you move away from the fireplace a little bit. Then it won't be too hot. What we do is we leave it at 104 and we shut the whole thing off when we're ready to wean the puppies around 4 weeks. Take the pig rail out, and probably 3.5 weeks, give them more room. They're not going to get squashed at that point. But I'd leave the temperature on. There's no harm in leaving the temperature on at all. Especially if you see the puppy still congregating in that area, then they're enjoying it, leave it on. If you don't see the puppies congregating in that area, and they're bigger puppies, 3, 4 weeks old, probably can turn it off. But I don't think there's any downside to leaving it on. I would get rid of the pig rail though, because that does severely, cramp them on their room. So the pig rail, that should come out at probably 3.5, 4 weeks. Blah, blah, blah. Livy says, I was able to get a few drops in a syringe in them. Yeah, so you did use, so we're talking now about Levi using a syringe to feed puppies. Get a feeding tube.
Yeah.
Don't muck around with anything else. If you don't have a feeding tube, you can go get some weed eater gas line. It's very skinny and it will work. It's not as good, but it will absolutely work. So you'll have to take a hairdryer and heat the end of it up so you can get it stuck on the end of the syringe. But you can absolutely use some weed eater line, very skinny gas line for a weed eater that you can buy locally. So if you're in a pinch, go get that. It will work.
We should definitely buy those feeding tubes on our website.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. You should have some. You shouldn't wait till the last moment because you've got to pay stupid money for overnight shipping.
Yeah.
Get all this stuff ahead of time. Shipping's not expensive if you do it that way.
Weird.
Yeah. You can buy just a feeding kit from us, or you can buy the whole puppy care kit. Either one comes with syringes and feeding tubes. Forget me not Frenchies. Do you start puppies mush week 5 once a day and then slowly increase? No, we start about week 5. Maybe sooner if mum is struggling. If mum's milk's not very good, you've got a large litter, mum's spine is showing, she's having a rough time, then we want to get them on mush as soon as we can. And I think, Tammy, you start with feeding them twice a day, don't you? Yeah. Feed them in the morning, give them 10 minutes worth, 15 minutes at it. After 15 minutes, let mum in and finish the rest of it up. Do the same thing in the evening before it's time for bedtime. Yeah, twice a day.
And they won't eat it all. They'll be so full.
Hillside Kennel says we use Pesty. It's a subscription service to get critters out of your yard, and it's pet safe. Okay. And he says it's about $120 a year. That sounds pretty cheap. Sounds very cheap. Sounds like a great way to do it. I love it. Yeah.
How about our thumbs up? How's that look?
Well, it's not wonderful, but we've lost a lot of people. We only got a third of the normal number of people watching because we got dumped on, which is not their fault. Nacho Line's talking about weaning. Says I'll do week 4 or 3.5 because I'm lazy. Well, I like to get them weaned as soon as we possibly can. I mean, it's rough on mum, right? Especially with big litters, it can be rough on mum. So I think as soon as you can get them on it, you've got to be careful for the smaller puppies because they may not transition very well. And those puppies can start losing weight, and they may
Once you get them transitioned over, you're gonna need that potty tray, that food tray.
That's exactly right.
Because
mum's
mama's not cleaning it up anymore after they start eating dog food.
It's like with human babies. Chanel, our daughter's going through this. She's got a baby. She's been feeding her herself. There's going to be a point where she transitions off that, and apparently just going from mum's natural milk to formula makes a difference to how the poop smells.
Oh yeah.
And so luckily Janelle doesn't have to lick the poop up.
It'll be a while though.
But it'll be a while.
Feed that baby.
Oh,
Like
she's a great mom.
supposed to.
She's a great mom.
Yeah.
She's really looking after her.
Yeah.
But the point here is, just Tammy says, when you start weaning, mum's not picking it up anymore. The poop tray is absolutely a lifesaver. It will mean it really is a must-have. It's a must-have because you won't be seeing puppies in your kitchen and other puppies eating it. You won't be changing those very expensive pee pads every 5 minutes when they've crapped. The puppies will all be crapping in one place, which is where you can tidy it up quickly, and it won't get Giardia and coccidia because they're eating it. And it will not only save you money, it'll make things much more hygienic.
The trick is you've got to get that pee pad where it's not sticking out of the potty tray. So make sure you've got it all stuck down in there real good.
So what Tammy's saying is, if you leave a little bit hanging out, the puppies will get hold of it and drag it out.
Oh, and they'll try to do it every time.
And then it's a game. It's a wonderful game. And once they've got that wonderful game going, they'll keep on doing it. So you've got to be pretty vigilant about making sure you put it in there properly, right? Rhonda Lee, my stud usually gives me an equal number of males and females. This litter is all males. What's up with that?
Wow.
Well, okay, so here's the first thing, is the sex of the dogs is dictated by the female, not the male. You may not think that's correct. What's going on is the male has XX chromosomes. They're both, so I think it might be YY, but I'm pretty sure it's XX. But whatever it is, they have two of the same. They can only give out the same chromosome every time. The female has XY. Either gives out an XX dog or a Y to produce an XY female dog. So the number of the sex of the puppies is determined by the female, not the male. And of course, it's statistical in nature. Sometimes you get lucky, you get lots of females. Sometimes you get unlucky, you get lots of males. That's all it is. There are some things that you could do to try to shift that, but they don't make any sense to do. I've talked about that before, but they just make your litter smaller is what they do, so don't do it. All right. Sally says, Castle Hill, what was peculiar about the client visit? Oh, I know, this is the one I haven't answered yet. So this is asking about what we should be doing in preparation for a client visit. Let me see if I can find that, and then we'll address that. Okay, 2 seconds here. I think what they asked was what we should be doing in preparation for people coming over to our house. And you need to be aware of the fact that they may have been to other puppies, look at other puppies, and bring things into your house that are really bad for your puppies, right? So this is what we do. The first thing is that we just don't want people coming. We want people to basically FaceTime us, see puppies online, and understand and find out if it's really a puppy for them, so they just come over and visit us to see puppies. There's a couple of reasons for this. This one sounds rude, but people can spend hours and hours and hours at your house looking at puppies, and they're not even going to buy a puppy from you. They're just going to play with puppies.
Or they're coming to rob you.
Well, they could be doing that too. Right, exactly. So that's another good point. So we'll talk about that too. But the point here is, I think that you should have a pre-qualified person who is FaceTime you. You FaceTime them. You think this is a good fit. They know what the price of the dog is, and it all makes sense. They now come and look at the dog. So that's the first thing. Pre-qualified. The second thing is, anybody who comes to your house, shoes off at the door. Wash their hands before they handle any puppies. Right? So that doesn't guarantee that you're protected, but it's a long ways towards it.
It's best you don't.
Yeah, shoes off at the door.
It's best if you don't.
Wash your hands, right? Wash their hands, right? That's it. And then, of course, the other thing is yeah. So the other thing is to be very careful. You've got to remember that some of these expensive dogs, there are people, unscrupulous people out there, who may stick a gun in your face, right? So, you know, it's. I think it makes sense that you've got.
FaceTiming is the way to go.
Yeah, FaceTime gives you a really good feel for the whole thing.
Videos are good too, but FaceTime is the best.
If you have a bad feeling, and look, here's the thing about FaceTime, it's good for your customer too, because they know who you are, that you genuinely really have the dogs, and that you're not some kind of crook. But I think that, especially if you're a woman, to have somebody come to your house to look at puppies when you're by yourself is a big mistake. I would not do that. I would not want Tammy to do that. I would want to be there. I'd want to have a man present. It's not like I'm a big tough man or anything, but it's safety in numbers, right? So
run screaming.
Yeah, I probably would.
We'd be there.
But the thing is it's much harder for somebody to do something. It's not to say that, look, so anybody can come into your house, stick a gun in your face, and take your puppies. If they do that, give them the puppies. Don't get shot, right? Don't get shot. But I think, there's some sensible things. We have cameras
Well,
in our
it's
house.
just safe. Don't do it. Don't do it in your
Yeah.
home.
Right.
At
Yes.
home.
Right. Yeah. So for us, when somebody's coming to pick a puppy up,
It's too
so
hot.
when somebody comes to pick a puppy up from us, they don't come to our house. We meet them somewhere, and we meet them somewhere that we think is safe. A good example would be a police station. Anyway, so just be safe. Right. All right. Let's have a look here. We're coming up on an hour. Look through these. On what day could you do dewormers and all these preventions? And what do you use currently? Well, we use we have. But we'll just run over real quickly. We use Safeguard, fendobendazole, same thing. Mum gets that 10 days before, 7 days after. Puppies get that at week 6, 8, 10, 12. Before that, puppies get parental Paramate at weeks 2 and 4.
Well, they get it every 2 weeks
Yes.
until they're gone from your house.
Natural Line says always deworm every 3 months. I think that's a good idea. With fendobendazole for your adult dogs. Yep.
Safeguard, yeah.
Yep,
I'm talking about the,
yep.
The puppy.
Wolf King, are there any recommended supplements you give your dogs? Yes, folic acid. Give that daily. Hillside Kennel says more of you need to be giving likes. I agree. So we're close on it, and we've lost a lot of customers because we'd had this hiccup with the phone jumping. So I'm not sure what Nacho Line's saying here. So Castle Hill says Sally, she was 18 years old, very nervous and shy. Really wanted my boy pick. She Ubered here and found me on Good Dog. Okay. I mean, again, I think FaceTime with this person beforehand to make sure that you know who they are and it looks sensible. Do we use artificial grass in the whelping box? No, we use pee pads. And are we able to get them to use the toilet outside? That's what the poop tray does. The poop tray really gets the poop in the right place. Is it normal, Hillside, is it normal for my dog to start eating poop? Now I'll have babies run around. Some dogs have a taste for this. You got to try and break of it. I mean, there's things you can do like put chili powder. There's products you can buy like cayenne pepper. There's things like bitter taste that you can buy that you spray on it, make it taste awful. I think it's called critter bitter or bitter critter. Yes, apple bitter or something like that. Yeah. So there's products out that you can buy. You can try that. I don't guarantee it's going to work, but it's worth a shot. A natural line says, I thought the male made the sex and the female does the quantity. Well, the female certainly does the quantity because it's all about the eggs. But no, it's the female that dictates. I will double check on this for next time. Make sure I'm not telling you a bunch of rubbish. But I'm pretty sure that it's the female that makes the decision on this. Mamo F6 says it's boys season. I have 5 boys right now. I feel for you. Somebody else says, SoCal Short Bullet says, I just got a litter of 4 male pups here again. I mean, nothing wrong with males other than the fact that people want females and they're easy to find homes for. Rhonda Lee says, I don't allow visitors, it's too risky. I agree. And we think you're smart. Forget not Frenches. I had a client saying they only want a female because they believe males pee everywhere. What is your thoughts? I think the answer to this is that if you've got a female you're going to have in the house, get them spayed. That will fix that. If you have an intact male in your house, then you can try things like belly bands, and it might fix the problem, but it's likely that it won't. If you have a stud dog,
it doesn't fix it; it just alters it.
Yes, if you have a stud dog, it's in fact today. Husky Supreme came to our place to breed one of our girls, and he came in. The first thing he started doing was peeing all over the place. Just pissed everywhere.
Each girl that was in heat.
Yeah.
He peed up her head.
Yeah.
Trying to pee on them.
Yeah, trying to pee on them. Yeah. Okay. Males territorial. My boy stays locked up because of that. Yeah, so there's some truth to that. Castle Hill Labs. Her dad should have been there, and since they had a lot of wealth, the situation was so weird. Yes. So again, just got to be careful on this, right? I get a low battery signal here, and I think we're about done with this. Just to get the last couple of questions here. Why dogs eat poop is lack of nutrients. Maybe, but I think that generally it's not that. I think it's they get in the habit of doing it. Some dogs have a penchant. Like our dogs love cat poop. They love cat poop. If they get an opportunity to go to the cat litter, they will go there and they'll look at
Well,
me.
it's the food. Smell their food. It just drives them
Yes,
nuts. They
yes.
want it. They want it. Their food smells just like it.
So Wicked Good Bulldogs just says I've got it wrong. It's the male is X and the female is XX. So it might be right. I'll double check on this. But it's yeah, okay. But I can tell you this: it doesn't matter who produces the males and the females. It's statistical in nature, and it's all up to a game of chance. Natural Line says it's the cat poop smell. I think you're right, and I think that is he says Natural Line says it's like barbecue to humans. Probably right. All right. So for those of you who persevered through this, we appreciate you. We'll do better next time because we won't be on the road. Thanks for your patience. Right. See you next time. Bye, buddy.